Yo Mo, sup Matt? Wanna know how the coronavirus started? How? The US government developed it as a bioweapon. Really? Then China stole it and leaked it. Oh, it could have also been the Corona Beer Company. Anyone else? Environmental protesters. Assalamu alaikum, what's going on everybody? With the whole coronavirus pandemic going on, with over 600,000 people being infected, that we know of, many of them recovering, but unfortunately quite a few not recovering and succumbing to the disease. These events always bring rise to conspiracy theories. Especially as a Middle Easterner, we love conspiracy theories. Mainly because for the majority part of history, we've been part of them. In many cases, we've been the subject of the, things, but still part of them. Participation award. Also, a reminder to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Before I start, here's an important disclaimer. Please do not go around spreading rumors during these times with the aim of causing mass panic and making unsubstantiated claims. Especially during these times, this can lead to people panic buying and causing massive food supply shortages. And mass panic almost always results in people getting hurt. And in some countries, creating false rumors and trying to spread mass panic can be punishable. With that being said, conspiracy theories. Let's get started. A conspiracy theory, it's a belief that some covert yet influential organization is responsible for certain circumstances or events, such as this one. With that being said, let's see what the top conspiracy theories are relating to coronavirus. Number 1. The coronavirus started in a lab in Wuhan. Some are of the opinion that Chinese scientists in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, they were playing around with the Rona. Playing catch, peekaboo, and hide and go seek. You know, the usual stuff. When all of a sudden the virus was leaked or escaped. Like Prison Break. Because apparently the top scientific facility in China has the exact same safety standards as the wet animal market in Wuhan where the corona started. That was a joke, but really. Actually, it turns out the Wuhan lab has the same safety protocols as top biosafety facilities in the States and in Europe. So for now, we're sticking with the wet animal market story. Of course, it doesn't help when US officials and pundits say things like this. It's probably a laboratory experiment that's in the process of being weaponized. All superpower nations weaponize bioweapons. Which is probably true, but scientists do say that in this case, this is not the case because the coronavirus is actually not the best bioweapon. It wouldn't be the most efficient virus to use as a weapon. But hey, who knows? Is the sudden emergence of the Rona in China's only level 4 biosafety lab a pure coincidence? Apparently, yes. But we're watching you. Number 2. The coronavirus is in fact American. Some Chinese officials are firing back, blaming the United States for the coronavirus, stating things like, the US military brought the virus to Wuhan and they demand that the US government be more transparent. Of course, there's no evidence for this, and most Chinese scientists and officials are sticking to the Wuhan wet animal market story. It's the official story and by God, they're sticking with it. Obviously, both the American and Chinese governments aren't very well known for their honesty and transparency, so I don't see this distrust ending anytime soon. Give it another 100 years or so to work out our differences. Number 3. The government is trying to take over. Some people are worried that these government restrictions, such as curfewing and quarantining, are simply plots by the government in order to infringe on your freedoms. Some people do fear that once this pandemic is over, some of the measures that were put in place will continue long after this virus is gone. And governments will keep these measures in place to control their populations, ignoring their rights and freedoms. It's one of these things where on one side you can say, well, that's completely absurd. And then on the other side, you're like, what if? And historically, certain things were done during world pandemics, and then they stayed long after the pandemics were gone. I'll give you 2 main examples. During World War I, Canada imposed its first ever income tax. This was in 1917 in order for the government to be able to make some additional income to fund the war. Over 100 years later, and guess who's still paying income taxes? Secondly, the United States of America. After 9/11, the Patriot Act was created. This included mass surveillance under that act. It violates many rights, including the Fourth Amendment. So I understand the fears people have of governments putting measures in place controlling the population whereby they are infringing on some of the rights and freedoms, and then once the pandemic is over, those measures continue. So from that side, I do understand the fears that people have of governments exercising an immense amount of control. Many of these fears are valid and historically backed, and many people don't trust their governments as much, and with good reason. However, do I think this is the case for the coronavirus pandemic? Is it possible? Maybe. Is it likely? Probably not. Because governments know how important it is for people to be out in the market, buying things, eating, stimulating the economy, spending as much as they can. Hell, that's the main reason this whole epidemic became a full-grown, fully blown pandemic. Because governments were too slow to shut down businesses and make people stay at home because they didn't want to harm the economy in any way. If anything, that's a completely separate issue altogether, where governments put profits over people. But that's a topic for another day. Number 4. This one is the most absurd. Now, stay with me on this. What if this entire thing was caused by environmental activists? That's right, just a bunch of vegans and vegetarians out to kill y'all. But if you really think about it, think of all the environmental benefits that have taken place since everyone has quarantined themselves during the coronavirus pandemic. The canals in Italy are cleaner than they've ever been. Dolphins are reappearing. You can see fish. You can even drink from the sewers. I'm joking. Don't drink the sewage. And don't drink the Kool-Aid. If you know, you know. There has also been a significant drop in air pollution in places like the United States, in Europe, and in China. Just saying. On a side note, it could also be the animals fighting back. Just think about it. Mad cow, swine flu, and now coronavirus from vengeful bats. I think they're trying to send us a message. Anyways, to conclude on all of these theories, scientific studies do show that this is a new virus. This was not something that was man-made in a lab. So that takes the biological weapons off the table. Ah, man! The official story remains the same. This virus originated in a wet animal market in Wuhan, China, where animals from all over the world, who have absolutely no business being in the same place together, are brought together in this market. And that the Rona is 96% similar to that found in bats, and even some are saying it may have also been carried by pangolins. Who's out there eating You know what? People are eating bats, so why not add a pangolin to the stew? Which brings us to another question. If the virus came out of these markets, have these markets been shut down? Is the Chinese government taking appropriate measures to ensure that no new viruses emerge from similar markets? Maybe let's be proactive rather than simply reactive. Is there more to this whole corona story than we're being told? Probably. Could the Chinese government have dealt with this a lot better and sooner and informed the world about it much sooner? Yes. Why are conspiracy theories so appealing? Because in quite a few cases in history, they have been proven to be true, which is what makes conspiracy theories so appealing on a certain level. On another level, people just want to be able to explain all the craziness and chaos happening around us, and it can't just be a matter of chance, so there must be some sort of secret organization doing it all. And sometimes, as ridiculous as a conspiracy theory sounds, some of them make you go, but what if? Honestly, you just need to find a balance. Don't swallow every single thing the government and the mainstream media tries to sell you. And don't think that every single event that happens in the world is orchestrated by some sort of secret influential organization. You know, balance. Anyways, a reminder to everyone to take this virus seriously. Stay safe, stay physically distant, and let's get through this together. That's my time. I hope I entertained you with this video and these ideas. Remember to like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.